Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good evening. I am hyped for a fun show tonight. Let me take off the starting soon. Hopefully my audio quality is good today. I just did a software update. Sometimes that messes up the audio quality a little bit, but usually it resolves itself whenever the software finally gets back to where it needs to be. Oh, thank you so much, Nettie. Everyone, yes, please. Hope you are well, and please hit that like button if you're enjoying the content. You'd like to see more of it. One moment, folks. Let me clear my throat here. 1 second. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better. Welcome in, Rosebud. Welcome in, Capricorn NJ. Hopefully you're having a good night. Welcome in, Nancy. Let me cut that music down, too. Hopefully you can hear me. And hopefully the audio is good, too. All right, you hear me. Excellent, excellent, good. Okay, so let me finish welcoming you fine folks in. Welcome in, Nancy. Hippie Easter, good to see ya. Always good to have our Hippie Easter in here. Hey, y'all. Yes, yes, welcome in. Not seen the hall yet, Hippie Easter? I'm covering the, I was actually planning to cover the trip back and the grocery haul. That's what I was going to be covering. Yeah, that new grocery haul. So yeah, that's going to be really good, I hope, I think. Welcome in, Fallen Angel. Welcome in. Oh, and also, actually, I know, because I watched it today. I always use, well, I shouldn't say always, but I usually preview the videos, just see if they're entertaining or not. And I actually watched this one with Kidney J earlier, and it was a riot. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, welcome in, Mouse Toes. Welcome in. Welcome in, Wooly. Good to see you. Let's see who else is here. Angel of Glass. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good night. Lucy Jane 12 Cruz. Good to see you, Lucy Jane. Welcome in. All right, let's make sure we got everybody welcomed in here. Welcome in, Purple Lilacs. Hey, Denise R. Great to have you. Glad you could make it. And also, I would like to take a moment to thank anybody lurking in the chat, anybody chatting in the chat, obviously, all of my awesome mods, and anybody watching the replay. Thank you very much. I appreciate you folks. And I hope you have a good time. If you'd like to see more of this content, please click that subscribe bell so you can receive notifications. And please hit that like button as well. It really helps the channel out a lot. Welcome in, Takes the Cake Pondu. That cake of yours is adorable. I love it. It's so cute. And it's really like looks nice too. It looks fancy. All right. So yes, that's the we got Foodie. We got double dose of Foodie tonight. I've been shying away from Foodie a little bit because she was in Thailand for so long it had gotten a little bit stale. But the good stuff is back. At least we get a little quick dose of it. Then it's going to be back to just ceiling and inside room beeses. But we actually get some content of Chantel going out and about, and it's going to start with her travel vlog. I know some of you folks have already seen this. I know we've all seen a bazillion travel vlogs, but I never get tired of them. I enjoy these. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a simple guy. I'm easily entertained. But all right, let me, whoops. All right, I got to share the screen again. Hold on. 1 second. There we go. There we go. All right. So yeah, let's get a look at tonight's show.
Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Oh, and please let me know if the audio balance isn't ideal. I'm going to try to get it so I can hopefully talk over it without having to stop too much.
Well, hello there. Did you know that you can request a private video from me made just for you that you can...
We can fast forward through this part. Although I gotta say, I love this one picture here. That Foodie chose this particular picture for the cameo. I don't know if she's trying to trick people into thinking she's Danny DeVito playing the penguin or something, because she, standing on the beach here, she absolutely looks like a water bird. Not as cute, but certainly the same proportions. Because her nose looks like a beak. Like, she doesn't have a big nose, but this angle, for whatever reason, it makes it look like a little beak. She looks absolutely like a penguin.
...a mall, just let me know. Get yours today and don't delay.
Yes, Mouse Toes. That's what it is. I'll speed it up just a touch. Okay, the airport looks nice, not crowded. Yeah, seeing her in the wild, that's the nice thing about it. Oh, okay. We already got a Foodie with her big caloric drink. And I also think it's gonna be really funny. I don't know if it's this video or the one where she did the little Temu haul, where she talked about how she's getting back into her diet. But yeah, she's got her chocolate milkshake there to start the day. Excuse me, it's actually a mocha drink, but it might as well be a milkshake. It's so full of calories, sugar, cream, all that tasty stuff. Welcome in, Leany Bo. Oh, I never realized that's a cat in your picture. Very cute. Never noticed that before.
I'm so tired. So I have one leg left from Oman to Kuwait. My feet are killing me. I have no makeup on whatsoever. It's travel day. And yes, I need to do laundry and have a shower and...
Okay, the need laundry and have a shower thing. Somebody pointed this out. Somebody more observant, or maybe not more observant, but somebody more studious, I'll say, than me, pointed out, I read, that she was wearing the same dress or the same clothing, you could say, the same outerwear for the last 4 days in Thailand. I don't know if that's accurate. I never double checked it, but I have no reason to believe it's not. So if she was wearing the same clothes for the last 4 days, it's hard to believe that she showered either. So the fact that she admits she needs a shower and she needs to change her clothes. Foodie, why are you so dirty? They have a laundry service. You have your own bathroom, right? Like, I'm not trying to shame people who can't clean themselves for whatever reason, but that's not what's going on here. Foodie can clean herself if she wants to. And she's about to get on an airplane. Man. She's about to get on an airplane. She hasn't even cleaned herself.
Waiting.
Yes, Nutty.
Waiting.
Welcome in, Kimalena.
Pretty empty airport, though. I feel like compared to like LAX or something.
Welcome in, trolling.
Imagine.
the wicked.
There's charging stations
the wicked clean
here,
picture.
which is neat. And I will not be fishing my charger out of my bag because I'm lazy.
Welcome in, Kimalena. I don't know if I missed you there.
also did not eat a single thing since yesterday.
Pale. She not eaten a single thing since yesterday. Was this filmed at 1 a.m? Like a gremlin? You can't feed her after midnight? Yeah, not eating a single thing since yesterday. And she does look pale, even more so than usual. I'm pretty naturally pale myself, but so I'm trying to be sympathetic to people who get pale. I can try to, it happens sometimes. You just pale, but Foodie is awfully pale, even though she has been making her daily trips out. It could just be the lighting, though. So I don't want to get too hung up on that. But she is
my
pale.
stomach is in knots. Like I can't. Ugh. Plus, I don't want to have to run into the washroom, so it's just safer if I just have some sips of water. That's what I usually do on travel days. I'm smart. If you have IBS, you know.
Foodie doesn't have IBS, by the way, or I guess technically, I don't know if she does or she doesn't by the official definition, but from my understanding, Foodie's just been crapping herself lately because, well, first of all, because she's been telling everybody. Like, that's the main thing. Like, how did somebody put it? If Foodie could have one thing to say about herself, it would be, I crap myself, and you don't need to know anything else. Like, that's the only thing about her that she'll tell us. So yeah, she's crapping herself. She tells us that every day now. Yep.
Hi guys. All right, so I'm going to.
Okay, well that's that. We don't get any more of the airline trip. I thought we were gonna get more than that. All right, I'm gonna pull up the grocery haul because I don't feel like just watching her sit here and just talk. So give me a sec. I'll let this run, and I'm gonna get the grocery haul.
This portion of the video, I'm going to eat my snack here, and I'm going to talk, summarize, conclude my Thailand trip, and talk a bit about it, reflect a bit about it, now that it's all over, and yeah, stuff like that. So I'm having I've been seeing this
And I think this is a British thing, isn't it? But I've never had this beans on
Well,
toast.
actually, I will comment on the meal really quickly also. Beans with toast. Beans and toast. That's not bad automatically, right? Like toast is just straight up carbs, and if you have poor quality toast, it's made with a lot of sugar, it's not the best choice. But beans, especially if you make the beans yourself, they're fresh beans. Those can be very healthy. But the adding all that cheese, that's not the best choice for Foodie right now. But compared to what she was eating in Thailand, this doesn't look so bad. What do you folks think the calories on this is? This is less than what she normally gets. That's maybe 200 calories of cheese, 100 calories of bread, 120 calories of bread. That's actually not that much for her. That only looks like maybe about 500, 600 calories of food on the plate there. I'm not really sure exactly, though. I don't really eat a lot of beans. All right, so let me pull up the other video. I'll let this run.
So I have one slice of multigrain toast, toasted in the air fryer. I don't have a toaster. Make do with what you got, all right? Maybe I'll get a smeg. No.
Okay, so we're going to let this one run instead. The Foodie's grocery haul. This is the video that we deserve. This is the video we haven't gotten in a while.
All right, so we're on our way.
Oh, but first, I want to ask you folks. I didn't make a poll, but I want to ask you, because I don't want to waste time now. What do you think we're going to see in Foodie's grocery haul? If you've already seen it, please don't spoil. I mean, if you've already spoiled, it's too late. But if you haven't, what do you think we're going to see? Do you think we're going to see a healthy food? Do you think we're going to see vegetables? Do you think we're going to see a lot of junk food? Do you think we're going to see a lot of candy? Do you think we're going to see a lot of cheese? Do you think we're going to see a lot of pickle? What do you think we're going to see? Because we're going to get to see a lot as it goes on. So I want to hear your predictions. Okay. All right, so let me get, oops, wrong video, hold on.
To the Jamia grocery store here in Kuwait to stock up on some food, much needed to restock my kitchen. So I did do an order online, which will come later tonight. But yeah, I want to pick up some things at the physical store. So Yella, let's go.
Hey guys, let's go in and see what we got.
Well, that's an interesting question, Abisa. Actually, I have an answer for that. I believe if you were in the chat recently, or if you were in there in the past, and they don't have enough people in there, everybody's already a member, and they have extra memberships to give out, I think that's what they do. But I'm not sure though. But that's what I think. Okay, so let me. I'll catch up in the chat in just a moment. But I want to get this video started here. Kidney J, I noticed this when I was watching it with Kidney J. Look at the cart. Look at the shape of the cart, how it warps. I'm going to slow it down a little bit instead of letting it
at the physical store.
Play at full speed.
Yella, let's go.
Okay. Let's look at the shape of this cart. This looks very odd, doesn't it? I'm going to slow it down just a little bit and mute it for a second and just let it play. Look at the shape of that cart. It looks like kind of, I know that it has this bend in here naturally, but the front of it looks to be like stretched a little bit, doesn't it? It looks weird. There, now it's shrunk back down again. Now it like looks normal again. See how it looks normal size now? And look how long it looks here. See, look how long this cart looks. And now look at it as she starts moving. Keeps moving. Now it starts to look okay. Now it looks normal proportion again. See that? Okay, I'm going to put the video back on full speed.
First thing I'm gonna do.
Let me increase the volume as well.
Yeah, upstairs they put all the sale items, so.
4 days, that's a bit much. Especially in that heat, in that humidity, right? But welcome in Steady C. I agree. I don't think he has anything other than just bad eating.
The cheese section, the deli, the best. Yes.
Ooh, Lucy Jane, I love that theory. Because I was expecting to see Salah. I hadn't actually watched that video yet, and I hadn't heard anybody else mention it yet. I've been lax, my apologies for that. But Salah probably didn't pick her up. I'm sure she talked about it and acted like he did, but we all know that he'd have been on video if she did that. No reason not to. Welcome in, Nirvana. Hopefully you're having a great night. Always good to see you. It does look nasty. The beans did look nasty. One of her eyes was completely black. Steady, see, I missed that. My bad. Yeah, you're right, Hippie. Those beans are made with tomato sauce. They have done a lot of sugar in there. There's a lot of great chat here, but I got to catch back up on I want to let the video start running again, but I'm going to read some of your chat while it runs. Always Rosebud. Because it's fun to ask.
Okay, so I need you to tell me what these say. I don't know.
Okay, so this carrot with cauliflower.
Okay, so let's see what she put in here originally. So first thing she puts in is a bunch of cheese and butter. First thing she goes for. Hasn't even... That should tell you everything you need to know. I mean, I understand that maybe it's in the very front of the store, but even if it is in the front of the store, Foodie just immediately goes for that high-fat cheese, that butter. She goes for her the stuff she couldn't get in Thailand so easily. I remember she complained that they were out of cheese at the 7-Eleven.
Okay, so I need you to tell me what these...
And pickles, of course, Foodie. This is Foodie's heaven. I'm surprised she doesn't buy multiple jars. And I've said this a few times now, but I think pickles are actually pretty healthy overall. Unfortunately, they are often loaded up with salt and sometimes preservatives too. So somebody like Foodie, who has a lot of secondary health issues, she needs to be especially mindful of all these other things like her salts.
Say? I don't know.
Okay, so this carrot with cauliflower.
Mm-hmm.
This eggplant with
Interesting
garlic.
if you got it, Beast.
This is cucumber with garlic. This one, garlic with extra spicy.
Ah. Okay.
What else? Oh, this one with tomato.
Ah.
And this like plain garlic.
Oh. Plain garlic.
If Foodie's walk is not looking good.
I'm gonna get this.
The big size?
It's the fastest she's moved in a month. I mean, in one
Grilled
sense,
olives?
probably, right? And yes, that's another interesting. Oh, just wanted to comment that as well. A lot of people pointed that out too. That Foodie's health immediately got better as soon as she got home. What do you folks think it was? Because I think there's two possibilities. One, she was worried sick about Salah going and finding other women or just ditching her or who knows what. She was worried sick about Salah. And part two was that my other theory is that she was just smoking so much weed, eating so many gummies, that she was just out of it all day, and she was eating so much junk food that her diabetes or blood sugar was out of control, and she was feeling ill all day from the diabetes. And that's my theory for why she was so ill all the time. It's crazy how much she gets trolling, and we're going to see it in a minute when she actually shows us the haul. Oh, and let me comment on these deli things here, these deli olives and all this stuff. This stuff here, as in my opinion, as somebody who's done a lot of dieting and planned a lot of meals, and so speaking of dieting, I gotta admit I'm up like 8 pounds. I've put on some weight, but it's time to get it off again, right? Yesterday I did okay on my diet. I started getting back to it, and today, as long as I don't mess up before bed tonight, today's gonna be my first really good day on this diet, so I'm very happy with that. Today I'm under 2,000 calories still, so well under 2,000 today. So I'm very happy with that. Or I shouldn't say well under, but I'm like 1,500 calories today, which is great considering how much I've been overeating the last few weeks. So this food here is stuff that I think it's good in the sense that it's not junk food. It seems to have natural ingredients. It looks fresh, but it's just very calorie dense. These items here, the olives, the cheese balls, like I would say, like the balls of mozzarella cheese, the roasted peppers. A lot of times they put oil on that. A lot of this stuff is the hummus things that they have in here. A lot of olive oil gets added into these salads. So there's a lot of calories in here. The food in here is tasty and it's nutritious, but it's very calorie dense. And for somebody like Foodie, who's hundreds of pounds overweight, I don't think there's very many things in here she should be eating. There's also a lot of sodium in a lot of this too. So I think Foodie should just stay away from this area.
And I think that's it. I like the grilled, maybe half kilo of grilled olives.
That's an interesting theory, Angel.
What does this say?
This one?
And a half kilo of olives. A half kilo of olives. That's a pretty good amount of olives. And olives are one of those things, like I just said a minute ago. They're nutritious, but they're very calorie dense. And somebody like Foodie who's struggling with weight does not need that kind of calorie dense food. And look at this right here. This right here, he said there's cheese in here. It looks like there's oil in here as well. This looks super caloric. It's probably tasty, but this looks very caloric, whatever this is. Just cheese and oil with maybe some, I'm not sure exactly, but there's a lot of calories in that without even tasting it or without even knowing what's in it. I can just tell from looking at it. That's very full of calories. All this stuff is very caloric.
Cheese with French mixture.
All right, French dressing and cheese. So that's, or French mixture they called it. I'm assuming it's like French dressing. I don't know exactly what they mean. But there's a lot of cheese in there. So,
Okay.
not the best choice for food. What do we have behind there? It looks like we have some cheese with chives mixed in, some soft cheese. This looks like those mozzarella balls. This looks like shredded chicken or something. It actually looks interesting. I might have tried that if I was there. They're not shredded, but just finely chopped. That's a lot of freaking olives. That's a lot of olives. 2 big old things of olives. That's over 2 pounds of olives. That's a lot of calories. I mean, how many calories are 16 ounces of olives? If anybody knows.
All right, hi everybody. All right, we're home and a little sweaty.
The
Be
warm,
expected. It's very
romantic
humid today, actually, in
interactions.
Kuwait. So I'm gonna just do the grocery haul. Just filmed a little bit in the grocery store. It was really busy and hectic.
I gotta skip ahead a little bit in some of the chat, folks. I love reading your chats, but I gotta skip ahead just a little bit.
You know, I'm still not feeling 100%. So I
let me
didn't feel like.
also welcome in anybody. If I miss anyone in the chat, my apologies. It's just I will try to get to you in a moment. Thank you for
Filming
coming
the
in.
entire thing. I just wanted to just get the stuff and get out and get home and organize. This is the fun part. Actually, this is the part of grocery shopping I don't like putting everything away, but this is my job. Salah carries everything, puts everything through the cash, and brings all the groceries up, and I put it away. All right, but I'm going to show you guys first. So I'm going to start with my cat. I don't know, guys. She is smelling the olives insanely. I don't know if cats like really love olives. Comment if your cats love olives and what the deal is. Anyways, I'm going to do the frozen things first, and it's not going to be organized other than that because, quite frankly, I just don't care. So I'll be right back. Ow!
Welcome in,
All right.
Jamie.
So this is the physical grocery store stuff we have.
Louise, Foodie was at her wildest then. But I was just thinking for a second. This Foodie is as addicted to food as some people would be addicted to crack. We got Foodie acts like a crackhead around her food. Like her hands start to shake. She gets sweaty. She starts to get angry at people if she doesn't get it. I mean, so it's close. It's close to my crazy here. I feel like it's close.
Have the online order coming. Just ordered some different things from there, fruits and vegetables.
It tastes good.
And some meat.
Welcome in, Tucker.
Yes.
Welcome in,
All right,
Tucker
so
and
for
friends.
frozen food, I got for frozen food a couple of chickens, whole chickens. You know how I love these chicken.
Okay, so starting off, we got 2 chickens here. I think chickens are a good food. I think chickens are a great choice, actually, for Foodie. I think chicken can be a little bit fatty depending how you make it. So you have to be careful. You don't want to eat too much of the chicken skin. Like Foodie was getting fried chicken skins when she was in Thailand. So that should tell you everything you need to know about that. So knowing Foodie, she's going to throw out like a lot of the meat and just eat most of the skin. Although she does allegedly like the chicken breast, which is the leanest part of the meat. So that's weird. That doesn't really square. But she always covers it with lots of cheese and cream. So it doesn't really matter if it's lean to start.
And so a couple roast chickens. I will say I didn't get any junk food for myself. Actually, we didn't get like any junk food, so
No junk food.
so yeah.
Anybody else would have probably lost like 100.
Juice. Come on, Juice. Over here.
I hope not.
Over here, Juice.
I hope not.
Come. Come. You don't understand? Juice. Juice.
Good point, Mouse Toast. Foodie is not.
Okay, girl. Just for now.
Remember in the beginning when she was even wearing the niqab? She was wearing the full face covering for a little while. Like she was really trying to go hard with the cosplay. I think it's harder to keep up now that she's gotten bigger. She has to keep sizing up in her costumes, and it's probably hard to find stuff in her new sizes.
Okay. I got some yogurts.
They were kind of small,
just
but
some
you're
plain
right.
sour yogurts, which you know I love to eat with my.
All right, so plain yogurt here to start. My opinion on plain yogurt is I mostly approve. I mostly think plain yogurt is good. Some people might say, oh, full fat, that's not the best choice. I mean, every calorie counts sometimes. So if you really want to get it down even more, you could go with the low-fat yogurt. But full-fat yogurt is still low in fat. It is. Even full-fat yogurt does not have a lot of fat, at least not any that I've ever seen. So it's yeah, and the fact that it's not flavored, I like that a lot too for Foodie, because the sugary flavorings, the sweet fruit flavors, the sweet vanilla, coffee, whatever flavorings they add to the yogurts, that's where a lot of the calories come from. And that's why I don't really eat yogurt much, because I don't really like it unless they add the flavoring to it. I don't really like yogurt. So I know it's healthy. It's healthy to eat it plain. So anyway, yeah, this is not a bad choice. So far, Foodie's starting off pretty good. Chicken and yogurt.
Just some plain sour yogurts, which you know I love to eat with my meals.
It did look small. It did look very small.
Some mozzarella cheese, a 2-pack. It's always usually on sale at this place. Same thing with the...
Okay, I like that theory, that she likes the breast because it's the easiest to eat, in the sense that you could just pull the whole chunk right off the chicken, right? Like, think about it. You have the thigh or the leg, you have to kind of eat around the bones. The breast, you could, even if you don't know the first thing about carving a chicken, if you don't know anything about, cutting it up, you could still pull off the breast meat without too much trouble. So that's probably why she likes it, because she's just not a very good chef, and she completely messes everything else up.
Okay. Some mozzarella cheese, a 2-pack. It's always usually on sale at this place. Same thing with the...
Double mozzarella cheese, which is... I mean, as far as cheeses go, mozzarella is one of the better ones, in my opinion. It's not especially fatty. And I think it has a decent amount of flavor. I mean, it's not like super strong flavored, but it's not like... As far as cheeses go, it's okay. But again, Foodie is just doing the overkill on the cheese. 2 full bags of cheese. We know those aren't going to last long. She's going to dump half of it on just 1 thing of beans.
Cheese, a 2-pack. It's always usually on sale at this place. Same thing with the...
Okay, and this is the American cheese, or I guess they call it burger cheese over there. They're doing the whole grocery shopping thing. They're oh god, do it very traditional. Wear the Islamic headdress, and cook all the food for her husband. Right? She's such a good traditional
cheese
homemaker.
slices. Got some cheddar cheese slices.
Oh, it's cheddar. Okay, not burger cheese. Excuse me.
You're gonna
Cheddar.
have these
But
for a
still,
while.
look how much that is. 800 grams of cheese. 800 grams is just under 2 pounds. That's like 1.8 pounds or something. That's a lot of freaking cheese. That's a lot of cheese.
We just yesterday finished the cheese slices we got last time. We do.
Good point,
Interesting,
Tucker.
eh? Funny cat.
Nothing, Capricorn.
We got a couple blocks of medium cheddar.
So she got 2 different kinds of cheddar. She got 800 grams of that one brand of cheddar.
This is an American brand.
And how many? And another 16 ounces and another 500 grams. So she has 1,300 grams of cheddar cheese. That's like 3 pounds of cheddar cheese.
American Heritage is usually the brand that they have for imported goods. So We got some halloumi. Gotta have halloumi. Breakfast.
Halloumi cheese also. Halloumi
And-
cheese as well. And I'm not, again, at this point, it doesn't matter what the individual cheeses are as far as the health. That's what? 800 grams of cheese plus how much halloumi cheese?
Gotta have halloumi.
1.795, is that what that says?
So,
So we have 1,300 grams
got
of
some
cheese
halloumi.
plus, it doesn't really show the weight exactly.
gotta have.
I'm going to guess that's another 500 grams, like another pound or so. So we're looking at over 4 pounds of cheese here.
Halloumi. Breakfast. And some more butter. I forgot to get ghee. I like cooking with ghee. How did you make
best
your
of
way
luck,
back
Jamie.
up here?
I know you got this.
Okay, get off the bread. She's smelling everything. All right, we got.
Foodie likes cooking with ghee now. I mean, is she on a weight gain diet or something? I mean, cooking with ghee. It's just more butter. Ghee is great, but this is all just so caloric. Does anybody else was here for Foodie's talking about how she's going to go on a diet and she was going to start doing better? But what happened to Salah? So what happened to Salah saying that he was going to put her on a diet, only healthy foods? This is crazy. If this is her idea of healthy, well, actually, that's something I often forget. This is Foodie's idea of healthy food. Foodie often does this, but the calories here are just wild. The calorie density, more bread.
Just a couple packs of bread because we do have a lot. We do have some bread in the freezer we have to use up. That's for Salah's breakfast. I actually
Oh, that's a good question.
am
Denise.
having some.
That's a good question, actually. Let me think about this for a second. She said differently. When she was away, she's still eating very calorically, but I agree she's eating like more like home cooking type stuff. More so it's interesting to see how her diet changes so much, but she still manages to keep it low in calories. Now she wants it to be all cheeses and stuff. Oh, and maybe that's another theory I had. Maybe that's why she was crapping herself so much, because she was so used to eating all that cheese, and cheese can constipate some people. So that might have constipated her, and now now that she doesn't have that constipating her anymore, she's crapping herself all the time. Just a theory. So here we got bread,
Multigrain.
more bread.
Toast bread.
Crazy.
The goal is to cook
Welcome in, Javed.
at least 5 nights a week and possibly
Exactly.
order
Diet's a lot.
once or twice. I'll see. 5 or 6 times a week. All right, so
Welcome in, Verbal Spirit.
some.
I think she's hoping it'll clog her back up because she was having she was crapping herself, left and right back in Thailand. So maybe she's hoping this will have that effect on her. But it could overcorrect. You're right.
Cheese.
Could be
Cheese
too much.
cubes.
Oh, and I have cream cheese. We have cream
Hey!
cheese, another kind of cheese.
Ow! I didn't give you bread, so you treat me this way?
Foodie.
That's not nice.
If Foodie cooks 5 nights a week, she's still going to get delivery.
That's not nice.
7 days a week.
You little brat. All right, what else did I get? Oh,
I think Julia is happy to see her back because she
So
feeds
we got
Julia
some-
off the table.
red pepper paste.
All right, red pepper paste. That is actually pretty healthy. I mean, as long as there's no oil added, that seems like pretty healthy stuff. Okay, good on that, Joyce.
This is mild, so it's not hot, but it adds a lot of flavor to sauces, to meats, to rice, to stuff like that. So good. I haven't had that red pepper paste since I used to shop at Adonis. I found it here. I'm like, yes. We have some. These are
Okay.
so good, you guys. These are grilled Syrian olives.
Grilled Syrian olives. And what was that, a half kilo? Oh, let me look at the weight
So
on
good,
here.
you guys. These are.
It says 2.0 something. She asked for 1 kilo, but this label says 2.0 something. I don't know, but that doesn't look like 2 full kilos. So I'm not going to suggest that.
Grilled Syrian olives. Grilled olives are so good. Get out of here.
Olives
We
are
have a
so
huge
caloric.
thing of Istanbuli cheese. It's,
More cheese! More cheese! More cheese! This is the most cheese-filled haul I've ever seen. Foodie has annihilated any kind of diet she had. Word of the day, annihilate. Annihilate is not just to destroy, it's to make it like it never was. It's, I don't remember the Latin origins from Nile for never, I think. To make it like it never was. Her diet might as well have never existed. She has annihilated it.
Like that white, creamy, soft cheese, right cheese. And this I want to try. It looks like some kind of cheese dip with like spices and stuff like that.
Another
some kind
cheese.
Of feta dip or
another
something?
cheese. Another cheese. How many? This is probably is like 10 pounds of cheese at this point. This is approaching like infinity levels of cheese. All the cheese in the galaxy. She's got literally at least 5 pounds. At least 5 pounds of cheese at this point, and probably even more. This is. I'm trying to think. What's the most cheese I've ever bought? The most cheese I ever bought, I think I bought like 3 pounds of cheese and froze it. Something like that. Cheese lasted like forever.
With like spices and stuff like that. Some kind of feta dip or something.
Oh man.
I hate when it leaks. And we have some black olives.
And olives.
Little black Spanish olives. Actually,
olives are again very caloric, very full of oil. They're nutritious and they can be tasty, but just very, very caloric. Not a good choice for anybody on a
I'm kind
diet.
of hungry. Let's try a bit of the dip on camera. Let's try this.
Yeah, the cat.
Let's see.
I agree.
Bismillah.
She couldn't even wait to eat it. She had to take a bite the very night. She couldn't even wait. Look at that face. Look at that face, Foodie. Everybody in chat, in your lifetime, I hope that you enjoy something as much as Foodie enjoys that cheese. Because that is, she's really loving this. Look at it.
Cheese.
Let's look at that one more time. Look at that face. Ooh, wow. Oh, oh. She's look at that.
That's feta cheese.
That's feta cheese. Yeah,
It has
feta.
olives.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's olives. That's feta cheese. Look at that.
Eggplant.
I feel like this is going to get youth restricted.
Peppers. It's so good.
I feel like
That's really
I
good.
think this is a porn if they just hear her talking. It looks good. It looks good. It looks healthy.
I just wanted to try more of that. A little bit of that.
Agreed, Nirvana. Let me take a moment just to highlight this. Until Foodie gets some real professional help to address her real mental health issues, her life is going to be a constant repeat of bad habits and emotions. I agree so much with that. I'm not somebody who just always shouts, "Oh, you got to get therapy, you got to get help," because there's a million factors, and often that does help, but that's not the only answer. There's usually more than just that. That's just part of it. In Foodie's case, I think that's a key part of it. I think that's where she needs to start. Because her whole relationship with food is so screwy. She treats food like a drug. She treats it like a lover. She treats food like a family member. That it's her favorite thing in the world. That's a good point. You got to train you got to teach your animal healthy habits, good habits,
All right.
safe habits.
That's good for that.
They can taste good.
Hey,
Not at all. Welcome to Diana.
are you
I missed
attacking
earlier.
Mom? I got
Absolutely all the
2
cheese.
like industrial size of vinegar because
Oh,
I
you mean
cleaned
after she
with
bit her? I hope
vinegar.
not. After the bite, I hope not. But if she, I would not be surprised though.
I washed my floors with it. There's a camera. The furniture is doomed in this house. And we have
wanna admit that.
a huge... I gotta try this mountain garlic. You ever do that when you get groceries?
That's such a
Start
good
nibbling
question,
on
Fallen
stuff?
Angel. What's she gonna?
Actually, the only thing I ate...
She's just gonna make chicken with cheese, like with melted cheese on top. Like she just got so much cheese. She's got cheese with cheese and cheese with bread, cheese with olives, cheese with chicken. There you go.
Today was some chicken breast from a rotisserie chicken and some hummus and some salad.
Welcome to Detective Coachy. It's
No
not
bread.
a problem.
Usually I eat the bread with it, but I'm not eliminating bread, obviously, but
Welcome in, Aiden C. Hope you're having a good night. I love cheese too. I hate to see. That's All right, Aiden, you see that you get my point. If you love cheese, then you hate to see it abused. You don't want to see something you love be abused. Stop abusing the cheese, Foodie.
Oh my gosh.
Buy a whole wardrobe full.
This is pickled Kuwaiti mountain garlic.
Pickled Kuwaiti mountain garlic.
It's amazing.
Sounds good.
It's a large garlic. It's very tangy. All right. And I love
That makes sense.
tuna and water.
She did.
So I got a couple packs of tuna.
Listen to Foodie flexing. I love tuna and water. Not like you fatties who eat your tuna and oil. First of all, who even eats tuna and oil? Who even eats tuna? I'm not gonna. I guess maybe some people do, but tuna and oil, that's not something that's very popular in America. I mean, they do sell it, but tuna and water is vastly more popular. I've never even been served tuna from oil, so maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Because it's very satiating. I think someone, people
so.
saying eat protein. I get it now. And fat, like mixing all the food
She
groups
always
for
eats
me
a
is
lot of
very
stuff.
important.
She always eats
Because
a lot of stuff.
I find that the most satiating.
Oh,
and
Foodie with the diet knowledge. Foodie with the diet knowledge here. Actually, let me rewind this. This is the Foodie with the real deep knowledge that can only be learned from a lifetime of good eating.
I get it now. And
She
fat,
gets it.
like mixing all the food groups for me is very important because
Mixing all the food groups for her is very important because she likes to have all the flavors. She likes to have all the flavors at once.
I find that the most satiating. But protein keeps you full so long, but tuna, just like a bowl of tuna.
It keeps her full so long, like 40 minutes, an hour. She won't even be hungry for like a full hour if she eats protein.
With a side of cucumbers or something. I love it. All right. This is the
healthy
best
stuff.
mayonnaise. I'm
Mayonnaise,
telling you,
of
it's
course.
so good. So we got some mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is I mean, it's worse than cheese. In my opinion, mayonnaise is far worse than cheese because cheese at least has protein. It has some nutritional value. It's not all just fat and oil. Mayonnaise is just oil with like a tiny drop of egg in there. There's very little egg in the mayonnaise, at least in the commercial mayonnaise, the kind of stuff you get in the store.
I like to put a tablespoon of that with my tuna salad. Some spaghetti. This is like the pasta bag. If Salah's really hungry, I just make him like a bowl of pasta. He really loves my macaroni.
He loves her macaroni.
I bought
Macaroni
this
brings all the
because
boys to the
I've
yard.
been seeing people making pastina or something like that. So it's
Agreed.
it's pasta numbers.
Yes, please.
But I see people make that, like pastina. You make a little pasta, and you.
Jamie, I know you're making. I hope you're making a joke, but if you're serious, it's true too. This really is like a sexual thing for Foodie, or if it's not sexual, it might as well be, because this is the most pleasure she gets in her life from anything by far. And I think she gets more pleasure from food than some people do get from sex. Like she is having an experience every time she eats cheese. Like just earlier in the video, I was going to get youth restricted for that. But we also have pasta. Of course, you can't have pasta without lots of cheese, right? Can't have cheese, lots of cheese without a little bit of pasta.
Put chicken broth and a bit of butter and some Parmesan cheese.
Butter and cheese.
I might try making that.
She really is an addict, Nirvana.
And some luncheon
sad.
meat mortadella. That's for Salah.
Oh, that's for Salah. Okay. Out of everything she says that's for Salah, that's the one thing that might actually be for Salah. But yeah, I do want to mention that Foodie is an addict, and I'm not making fun of her for being an addict, but I'm making fun of her because she's so in denial, and she so refuses to get any help for herself, and she's being a bad example for a lot of people. I wish she would I wish she could do something about it. I wish she would do something about it. But if she's not going to, then at least we could have some entertainment watching her.
I don't like this at all. I like deli meat, but not all, not that one. I don't know why, but
Oh, okay, Nutty. I misunderstood.
I don't like it at all. That's just my preference.
Bubba Gumpa cheese.
All right, so what's in here? Oh, bananas.
Welcome in, Susie Q.
Craving something really sweet and you're really hungry? Banana. actually does the trick. So I've got some bananas, and I actually...
Dude, she's hungry. She just, you know, when Foodie's hungry, and this is how she maintains her svelte figure. When she gets hungry and she craves sweets, she just has a banana. She has a banana, right? Let her explain it a little better for you folks. Look at that face. This is a woman who knows the trick to staying thin. Look at how happy she is. She's got it figured out now. Mix up the food groups and have some bananas ready, and the weight just falls off. It falls off like your relationship with Salah.
What's in here? Oh, bananas. Craving something really sweet and you're really hungry? Banana.
That actually might be all right.
Actually does the trick. So I've got some bananas, and I actually don't like bananas when they're really yellow and like browning. I like them still a bit green. I like them not
Agreed, hippie stuff.
super sweet. So that's why I like plantains.
I noticed that too. When I saw the mayonnaise, I was thinking she's got yogurt and mayonnaise. I mean, I guess it's better to have both than just the mayonnaise. But if she likes yogurt, use yogurt. Drop the mayonnaise. Foodie needs to take anything she can to cut the calories a little bit.
More than actual bananas. And we got lots of romaine lettuce because we're going to be eating salad and vegetables every single day.
Well, welcome in, Essence. Hope you're having a good evening. And I saw your comments the other day under the videos. Thank you so much for your posting your comments. Anybody who's watching the replay, by the way, if you'd like to leave a comment, hint, hint, it's very much appreciated. I do enjoy reading them.
We have some parsley and fresh dill for the tuna. Oh, I could smell dill all day long. All day long. I love it.
I don't know if Foodie's gonna eat it plain.
It's so good. It's just so good. Luckily, I don't have to really clean out my fridge because I did that before I, before I left for Thailand.
I'll agree with this. I'll say that it's not bad in the sense that there's like if it's natural mayonnaise, if it's fresh mayonnaise, it's not bad, but it's very caloric. It's very caloric. So even if it is fresh mayonnaise, eggs and oil, you don't want to eat too much of it. And I do think that personally, I just don't really like mayonnaise that much. So I personally prefer other stuff. But if you have fresh mayonnaise, you don't have too much of it. It's not so bad. It's like anything. You can have too much of it.
And I'm happy I did. I came back to a clean kitchen.
Welcome in, Archie.
My husband wasn't going to be cooking when I was gone. Order out. I got some Parmesan cheese. Usually
more cheese.
Buy that.
More cheese. More cheese. Although some people would say that Parmesan in the can doesn't count. But it's cheese. Whether it's good cheese or not, it's cheese.
Got some Parmesan cheese.
Stale cheese.
Usually always buy that. Just a couple jars of pasta sauce. Always good to have on hand. I know this is going to be like controversial and seen as junk food, but I'm being, realistic and actually, in my opinion,
okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about the plain pasta for Salah. That's a good point. Like I don't think he just eats plain pasta, so he probably does get his own stuff on the side somewhere. Maybe he eats a little bit of this, but I think that makes a lot of sense. And here we go. Of course, we got the chocolate. I love this. The way that Foodie said, no junk food, no snacks, none of that stuff whatsoever. Of course, 100 pounds of cheese doesn't count. But that's, chocolate is, chocolate may not be the worst junk food, but I guess technically you have to call it junk food. It's very sugary, and it's not it's not something you need to have in your diet.
A couple squares of
It's a treat at best.
Dark chocolate.
Yum.
Is okay,
Welcome
so
in, Catsy.
I find dark
agree with
chocolate to be kind of bitter, so I don't crave to eat the whole thing, so some with hazelnuts. I love hazelnuts and dark chocolate plain, so I'll just
from what we've seen with Salah, maybe she does, right?
have a couple squares per day, and it's actually got a lot of, I don't know what's the health properties in chocolate, but I think polyphenol.
OMG. The other day, Foodie, anybody saw that? It was in Thailand still. She got a slice of chocolate cake, and it didn't look great, but it looked okay. It looked very sugary, very sweet, very, very dense. It wasn't like a light fluffy cake. It looked like a very heavy, thick, sugary, fudgy piece of cake. She ate it in 3 bites, and it was not like a tiny piece. It was not like a little tiny little cupcake. It was a full-size slice. She palmed it and just crammed it into her mouth in 3 bites, or maybe it was 4 bites, but it was crazy. It was crazy.
I'm not sure, but yeah, this will be like a little treat for me. So. I can just see all the videos being made now about my chocolate bars, okay? And a huge thing of tinned beans. These are my favorite.
I have a theory. I have a theory that the second haul is from the food bank. What does anybody think of that? Because she said the second place is going to be what? It's going to be vegetables, fruits, and meats. And it's not, and if you notice, whenever she gets the stuff from the other place, it's not like in packaging. It's all loose and it's in bags. I think the other place is the food bank, the place online that she gets it from. Now, I don't know how it works with the deliveries, but I'm just saying the way that it's mostly unmarked and the way that the items that she gets, it seems like stuff that would be at a food bank.
Beans and tomato sauce, right?
So that's fair, Elise.
Baked beans and tomato sauce, and you don't have to open them with a...
That's a good point. And I do like to talk about diets and nutrition and things, and that's a good point. Elizu is bringing up here, I think she's referring to the keto diet indirectly, where if you kick out the carbs, you just stick with protein and fats, you can still burn a lot of calories, you can really get healthy, despite eating a large amount of fat, relatively speaking. So that is true. At the same time, there are people who cut out fats and they do well also. I think you're right about that. And if we look at food, a lot of the tastiest foods are what? Mixtures of fats and carbs, right? When you just have one or the other, it's usually not as unhealthy when you think about it.
Can opener.
It could be
tahini.
have mercury in it sometimes.
So creamy. I love it.
Better to be safe. Tahini, another.
I'm gonna make it.
Another creamy, oily sauce to go with the mayonnaise. Tahini, mayonnaise, yogurt's the healthiest of the 3, but tahini and mayonnaise. How many creamy sauces does she need?
Tahini sauce. Grape leaves. I gotta try them on camera.
Grape leaves. Are these
Eating all the
grape leaves?
groceries.
Are these, what are
Because
these stuff with?
this is a new brand for me. Fresh is better, but next time I can make them.
She's got to open the can on the spot.
Oh, and a thing of beets. I love beets. So let's try these. Bismillah.
This is a massive haul, isn't
That's
it?
a good brand. A really good brand.
It's a good source of protein, but it's not always the tastiest.
There, little snack while doing my grocery haul.
Welcome in, Rose Thorne. Good to see you. Oh, and by the way, Rose Thorne has a channel. If any of the mods would like to post a link to Rose Thorne's channel, she's got a great channel of her own. If anybody, definitely be sure to check her out. She does, I think, tarot readings on there, which is pretty interesting. It's certainly something I don't know much about.
You're my baby. All right. We have some hot sauce.
That is a good point.
I'm gonna try to go easy on it. I usually finish a bottle in 2 days. So we're gonna be accountable for this, okay? Remember this.
That is true. There is some nutritional value to chocolate. It's just that a lot of chocolate is loaded with sugars and fats. It's hard to just have one little square of dark chocolate. But if you could have one little square of dark chocolate, it's not the worst. It's certainly better than eating, marshmallows and things like that. It's so darn hard to eat one. We all know that, right? Everybody here, I hope, at least can admit it's tough to eat one piece of chocolate, right? At least for me it is. I can't, and I don't like the dark chocolate. I guess I could eat one piece of like super dark chocolate, but that's about it.
Geisha. Oh, cool. Geisha. Memoirs of a Geisha's Mushrooms.
I could totally believe it.
And we have like a whole bunch of mushrooms in the tin. I know they're like fresh mushrooms are really expensive here. I don't know why. And
she is so not going to. Thank you, Susie. Yeah, like I just was referring to. Eating a square or 2 squares of chocolate, that's wishful thinking. If anybody who can do it, respect. I'm proud. I'm happy to hear that you can. I'm happy for you, but I can't do that. I can't eat just one square of chocolate.
And they go bad, like I'm not gonna pay an arm and a leg for fresh mushrooms when they go bad, and if you don't eat them in time. Cat hair. So this is we got a couple of these. Salah really likes these fried with his eggs and stuff, and I just might add them to things.
That's very
right. So, I don't know, but yeah. But you gotta fry them first because they're rubbery. So that's about it for this grocery haul. When the rest of the stuff comes, we have enough drinks, we have enough water. Salah stocked up on drinks for himself and stuff while I was away. All right, so I will cut here, and when the rest of the stuff comes, I'll show you.
Agreed.
Right, see you. All right, guys. Second order came. Now,
okay, here's the second half of the food haul. I actually have not seen the second half yet, so this is going to be more interesting for me.
I know I have a different hijab on than before. Long story.
Foodie changed her clothes.
All right,
interesting.
So first things first. Hi. Ugh. All right, we have a box of fresh meat.
What did that say on the front there? Jamaica. I thought it said Jamaica for a second. I was like, Jamaica? she getting lamb from Jamaica? What's up with that? Okay, Jamaica. Fresh meat. All right. Well,
Box of fresh meat.
Fresh meat's good. I like fresh meat.
I got some Kuwaiti minced beef.
Yeah, this is what I meant about how the beef from the second place, and I actually hadn't seen this one yet, but I remember from the last time I saw it, the beef was not individually labeled, and that's what made me think it might be from a food bank. Although I will say that there are like some butcher shops and places that like sell stuff in bulk. They don't really label it individually. I've heard of that. I haven't actually seen that myself though. Whoops, hold on a second here.
2 packs.
What just happened? Hold on.
And I got 2 packs of
Sorry, folks.
some
Controls got all mixed up there. Okay, we're back.
some
Can't eat just
Kuwaiti
one.
minced beef. 2 packs. I put ice on it. And I got 2 packs of cube beef.
Agreed.
So
Kat, see, that reminds me. The other day when Foodie got that sub sandwich, she was talking about how, oh, I didn't get any sauces on it. I didn't get any unhealthy sauces. I just got a little bit of mayonnaise and some mustard. And there was a lot of mustard, that's true. But the mayonnaise that was on there was so much mayonnaise. It was oozing out.
that is what I got here. Put that in the fridge in a minute. Okay. The fruits and veggies, they come in like bulk boxes, and
Oh, you're very welcome, Rose.
here, you can have this box. I know it's dirty. You can't have any of these.
Good point, Jamie, right? Foodie is so full
These
of it.
are sweet potatoes.
All right, I got to skip ahead a
Egyptian
little
sweet
bit in the chat.
potatoes.
All right, folks, I got to skip ahead just a little bit in the chat again. My apologies if I miss anybody. I will try to welcome everybody in, but to anybody I miss, welcome in. Glad to have you. Thank you also to all of the lurkers and all you other fine chatters. Very much appreciated. And anybody watching the replay also, glad to have you here. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Foodie's grocery haul. Do you think this second haul, half of the haul is from a food bank?
A huge box. So, yeah, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, this grocery store online has a lot of sales
more of a
on
foodie than
fruits
Foodie.
and vegetables. So that's why I wait for that day to stock up on it. Okay, excuse me, I'm trying to like work here so that I can pay for your cat food and you're in the way.
Oh, I missed that, Fallen Angel. I missed that. That is so hilarious that she thinks don't want to have too much of the hot sauce. And that's a good point, Fallen Angel. Hot sauce itself is actually pretty healthy. It really is. There's like very few calories. It's just peppers and usually some vinegar, a little bit of water. Not a lot in there. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I got a case of pomegranates, which are so delicious.
Pomegranates
And
are tasty.
pomegranates actually, what I like to do with them is put them in salad. So, you know, yeah, they're really good. So, juice.
Interesting.
She's
Good
playing with
point,
these.
Jamie.
There you
Good
go,
point.
juice. I got a case of
Ooh,
pomegranates.
that's a good. Anybody who wants to be a detective, you want to look up that code on the box.
And we're not letting these fruits and vegetables,
Good point,
die in
Lucy
the fridge.
Jane.
No, we're gonna eat them.
Oh, okay. Now that's giving me a little bit more thinking here, a little bit more to think on. If it's just the delivery app, then it very well could be the food bank, because a food bank's not going to have a delivery service. But if a delivery service exists, they can pick something up from any place. If they have an order somewhere and if they have a deal with that place to come and get it, it's possible.
Gosh. Huge bag of fruits and veg. I'm not going to take them all out, but I got several kilos of each, okay? So we have
Foodie cannot
some
wait.
carrots.
She loves to snack. Oh, welcome in, Fiona's mom. Not a problem.
We have a
Glad to
bunch
have
of
you.
tomatoes, bunch of cukes.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's see these vegetables as they come in here.
We have some carrots.
Carrots. Okay, I love carrots. That's one of my favorite vegetables. I think carrots are super healthy. I think they're super tasty. That's what I love about carrots. I just think they taste good. So I know they're healthy, but more so than the health, I'm not a big fan of vegetables in general, but I really love carrots. I take that back. I'm a fan of vegetables as far as nutrition. I try to eat them, but I'm not a fan of most of them, because you usually got to add some butter and some salt to get them tasting good. But it's still, again, a little bit of vegetables is good to have some vegetables in your diet. Everybody, even if Dr. Phil doesn't eat as many vegetables as he should, doesn't mean you shouldn't eat yours.
We have a bunch of tomatoes, bunch of cukes,
Tomatoes, cucumber, okay, good.
bunch of red onion. Hey, out of the way,
Onions,
you.
I am not
on.
personally really
Come on.
I'm not really a fan of onion myself, but I mean, again, it's super nutritious, so I think onions are a good choice if you like them. Cucumbers
Bunch
I
of
like
limes.
a little more. Limes I like, cucumbers I like.
And a whole bunch
Tomatoes.
of potatoes.
Potatoes I like. Potatoes are one of those. Even though they're a vegetable, they got a lot of starch. There are a lot of carbs in there, but they're a healthier carb. They're a complex carb, and so potatoes, as long as you don't cover them with too much butter, too much oil, or anything, they're pretty healthy too.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, you.
Oh, does she? I did. Well, she could have fooled me.
Okay. Excuse me. I also got.
Oh,
got a
thank you,
case of
Purple
red
Spirit, with an
grapes.
interesting tip here. Purple Spirit saying that the food bank where she is the Red Cross will deliver there. So there you go. Delivery for a food bank is not unheard of. Okay. It does look like a food bank. Exactly. If she doesn't like pomegranates and she got all those pomegranates, it makes even more sense that she didn't get full choice. And it would explain why she's always getting such a large amount of vegetables, even though Foodie doesn't usually eat that many vegetables.
Which look very delicious. Hey.
Not like I
but
should.
not least.
I don't like vegetables as much as I should. I like some vegetables. I like carrots. I like mushrooms. I like potatoes. I like zucchini. I like squash. But I'm not like a big fan of like salads. I don't really like lettuce. Not really too much into cabbage. I don't like onions. That's the one thing that a lot of people are surprised to find. I don't like onions. Peppers are okay. I don't hate vegetables. I just don't really love them either. I'm indifferent toward vegetables. I'm not a big fan. I think they're healthy though, so I still try to eat them.
Huge case of mango. Are they ripe?
But the history
not
lesson.
really.
Thank you.
Which is kind of good. They will ripen
Yeah, salt helps.
over time. So yeah, there's 6 huge mangoes here.
It's good stuff, and they're super
So-
healthy. I mean, my grandfather, he ate lots of vegetables. He lived a very long, he had to live forever, that guy. So yeah, vegetables are healthy.
Yay! I love mangoes. They're so good. So, yeah. All right, so that's it for the grocery haul. This is stocking up my
be careful.
cupboards and fridge. We had barely anything, so the total, I'll put the totals here for everything, was
good
about
point,
68,
Catsy.
69 KD. So I'll put.
That's a good point, Catsy. I thought of that myself, but I was just assuming that, you know, that if you that they're just it's hard, it's cold world out there, right? But that's nice that people are able to get a delivery on that. And I like how Foodie puts up the price here. The price is not like that shocking. I'm not that impressed with the price as far as it being that cheap. I don't think it's that like, I mean, it's not a bad deal, but overall, I guess. But like, if I broke it down, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like that great of a deal either. Especially because like there's just too much cheese. Like I don't care how much money it was. I don't want that much cheese.
The conversion there for you and a few other currencies. Just so you know, I do have a good app, currency converter app, which I just use because
maybe you could.
When you're traveling, you never know, you know. So
probably not onions though.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put the rest of this away, get comfy, and just tuck in. And I thank you for watching. So see you.
Elizu, they're a vegetable if I say they are, because I want to talk about how I like. Look, do you want me to say have one less vegetable that I like? Don't take my mushrooms away from me. Don't take away my right to say that I eat vegetables when I eat mushrooms.
Next one, bye.
Okay, that's all right. We got a little bit of an interlude now, and this is a good video I've been meaning to watch too. But I do want to cover a King Cobra video, but we probably are going to watch this next one of these days as well. But let me pull up the and Fat Cow Chronicles. That's a channel it's a newer channel as far as I know. I've been meaning to cover one of her videos also. But let me get, where's my little screen thing on? Hold on. I want to put on the, here we go. And I'm going to get the other video I wanted to cover real quick. So let me get that. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I get the latest. This one is absolutely hilarious. I don't know if any of you are into Josh or Now, but this video is absolutely hilarious. I normally don't cover them anymore partly because it's hard for me to keep up and sometimes it's just a little too crazy, but this one is absolutely hilarious. So let me pull up the playlist. And I will catch you folks up so you'll know exactly what's going on with this one. Oh, and Cyrax has been acting crazy lately. But he's always been acting crazy, right? Okay, this one here, let me give a little background story for anybody who's not aware.
What's up, YouTube?
King Cobra and Naked and Laughing. They are like the worst couple in the world. Naked and Laughing used to be a beezer. She's an alcoholic. She's violent. She's crazy. She lies. She's a false accuser. Then you got King Cobra Josh. Let me put it on the screen here. Got King Cobra Josh here, who's also an alcoholic. He is. They were having relations together. Yeah, right. Doesn't look that crazy. So yeah, let's show a little bit. So anyway, so they recently broke up. And after this breakup, she accused him of abusing her. He denies it. It doesn't, I don't like to say, to weigh in on something like that, if I don't really have some knowledge. But from what I'm seeing, it seems most people are not believing what she has to say on that. So yeah, let's let it run. Enough background. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them on Josh and Jessica, at least as much as I know. And that's her name, by the way, Jessica Boyle, Naked and Laughing.
Didn't want to fucking talk about it, but Jessica Boyle has to open her fucking mouth and share shit on the internet that should not be shared, and then twist the story to make herself look innocent because she's a manipulative little cunt. I'm talking, of course, about the boob sucking incident. Dun, dun, dun.
I hope the volume is good on this. Let me turn it down just a little bit, I think. Or unless that was good, by the way. Let me know if that was good a minute ago. I could turn it back up. But the boob sucking incident. Yes, apparently Now has been talking about a quote-unquote threesome that occurred. A threesome. Sounds hot, right? Now and Josh. For anybody who's seen Now, she and Josh are in the same league, if you want to know what Now looks like. I'll just say it like that. They're in the same league. and it's it's not anything I want to be a part of.
So back when I was living at my old apartment, Jessica came to visit me.
Very much.
And we were both drinking, and my buddy
She's
Aaron
sinister.
at the time come over with some vodka. And he's like, hey guys, I got some weed. And I'm like, killer, man, can we smoke up? And he's like, yeah, dude. So we go up to his apartment. He's looking for his weed. And
So yes, Aaron, let me give a little background here. Aaron was his neighbor. Cobes lived in an apartment complex. Before, now his girlfriend, Jessica, now the one in question, she got him kicked out because she was trashing the place drunk and apparently, possibly, allegedly, I'm covering my ass here, allegedly high on something else, possibly some pills or some too much caffeine, who knows, right? But she was up all night acting like crazy person, tearing the place up, making noise all night long, and Josh got evicted because of that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was copping a feel on Jessica a little bit. It wasn't super aggressive.
So he was copping
we go
a
to
feel.
his apartment. He's looking for his weed.
Okay, so they went to Aaron's apartment to get his weed, to get some weed to smoke, because, yeah. All right, and now he's there with his quote unquote his girlfriend, his love of his life, his serious, the woman he gave a ring to. This is a serious relationship, folks. Listen to what happens.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was copping a feel on Jessica a little bit.
Copping a feel.
It wasn't super graphic, but it was enough to let Aaron know. At the time, she was with me.
Good night,
and
Nancy.
Jessica, being
Thank you for
Jessica,
coming.
just out of nowhere takes her boobs out. And she literally asked if Aaron could also suck on one of her titties while I suck on the other one. Aaron.
Oh, let me give a content warning also, by the way. Content warning. This is going to get a little bit graphic. Not going to be anything worse than I don't know, nothing worse than what they'll have on late night cable TV. Or actually, no, probably not even that bad, to be fair. But just, might get a little bit hot, a little bit steamy under the scales with Cobes giving his romance tales. So apparently they had a quote unquote threesome where they both gave Jessica a titty twister.
Aaron was asking for it too. One, Jessica Boyle's supposed to be my girlfriend at the time, and two, Aaron's supposed to be my friend at the time. And get this, Aaron already had a girlfriend that was long distance, bro.
I'm sorry, no problem. Thank you for coming
in.
in.
Her pinched and twisted a little bit. And Aaron asked if she could get eaten out by him, and me and Jessica were both like, no, dude, stop.
Okay, so apparently, yes, this is... So apparently, they were all at Aaron's, and she asked Aaron if he would... Or no, Aaron asked if he could... perform on her. I'm trying not to repeat what he's saying. Oh man, I don't know
by him, and me and Jessica were both like, "No, dude, stop." I looked at Jessica and I said, "Put your tits away." And honestly, I felt disgusted. I felt humiliated. I felt just this disgusting. And I let it go because Jessica said she wanted to have a fantasy with 3 guys. And I'm like, no, I'm not sharing my girlfriend with anyone.
She has a fantasy to have 3 guys.
If it were gender reversed, and let's think of it. If
I'm not here to criticize anybody's fantasies, but that's a hardcore fantasy to want 3 men at once and to try to enact it. Like, it's one thing to have a fantasy. It's another thing to try to make it real. That's a pretty crazy fantasy in my opinion. Maybe I'm vanilla, but...
And if I were to do that to Jessica and one of her female friends and pressure them into both sucking my cock at the same time, while making her female friend do it while she
Cobra is so delicate with his words.
Watches, and she wasn't into it, I'd be a fucking pig. And if I pressured her into doing it on top of it, I'd be called a groomer. Fuck that shit. That is such a fucking double standard. When men do it, it's because we're pigs, right? But when women do it,
almost
it's
too
because
much.
They're sexually liberated. Kiss my ass. Oh, and then when we're getting gas with Aaron in his car, I get out to go get a pack of cigarettes at Wolf and Jug.
Yes, he is.
And I hear Aaron shout at Jessica, "Did I suck your titty last night?" And
So apparently Aaron is an even bigger mess than Cobes. He shouts at Jessica while they're out getting gas the next day, "Did I suck your titty last night?" This is the relationship that she has been crying over, that they've been broken up now. She is so devastated this relationship breaking up. This is like just disgusting. What is this? This is like a Casper Jerry Springer. This is horrible.
the guy standing right next to us, and Jessica's like, "Dude, shut the fuck up."
He might. He is. Yeah. He
She got mad
shaking.
about that, and
He's
then
really
goes on the
shaking.
internet and starts talking about it. Like, the mental disconnect this woman has is seriously the worst. And she forgot or neglected to mention that I said when she asked if Aaron could suck on her other titty while I suck on the free one.
Well, he sucks out the free one. What, they weren't gonna share one together? This is just, and again, I don't want to like shame people for being sexual. Like, you know, enjoy yourself, be yourself. But this is just like nasty. This is nastiness. This is like people who don't even barely even know. Like, okay, fine, she and Cobes knew each other for a while, but still, that's nasty. And this Aaron guy, this is his first day meeting either one of them, and he invites himself into their relationship, and apparently she's okay with it. She's totally okay with it, and Josh is just like, well, you know, like, I don't really appreciate this.
I said, "Well, it's your body. Do what you want to do, but I would rather you not." Subtle hint, "Hey, we're dating, and if we're supposed to be dating, why the fuck do you want other dudes? Am I not good enough for you?" kind of thing. Like, bro.
Yeah. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
That's basically what fucking happened.
Yeah.
And conveniently, Jessica says, "Oh, she has a bad memory and doesn't remember," but then she's going to sit there and say, "Well, this is what happened." You cannot say you don't remember what happened and then say in the same video, "But this is how it happened." Don't believe me, Drunken Peasants has footage that other channels have clipped of her saying the dumbest shit. So she tries to backtrack on camera and say, "Well, I didn't say that." Like, bullshit.
So this is apparently I remember when Nal first said that they had a threesome, and everybody was like, "Yeah, right. You didn't really have a threesome." I mean, I guess this wasn't really a threesome, but it's nastiness. It's nastiness. All right, we're almost done with our Cobra interlude.
Bullshit. Aaron was
Actually, you know, I think we can run that fat cow video tonight after this. I think that's what we're gonna run after this. This is a short one. I think we will run the fat cow video after this.
trying to steal my girlfriend, taking pictures of me while I was passed out. Then once Aaron got that DUI, I stopped hanging out with him because I'm a drinker too. But I'm not as bad as Aaron is. I've never been to the hospital for alcohol poisoning. Aaron's been in treatment several fucking times.
I love that's his standard. Like, Aaron's been in treatment, so he must be a worse alcoholic. That's not how it works, bro. Like, I mean, he might be a worse alcoholic, but first of all, you shouldn't be comparing like who's worse. Like, that's like comparing like who's got more STDs or something. Like, that's not something you want to be comparing at all. If you're even in that race, you already lost.
He's been in the hospital multiple times for alcohol poisoning, and it's just fucking sad. Aaron showing up to his job drunk and then telling me that I don't know how the world works. That's what he told Jessica anyways, allegedly. And just talking with...
Okay, so that is the extent of the, like, the worst part of the... Hold on a second here. Okay, that is the part of the Co's video I wanted to catch you folks up on that. So apparently, yes, there was a King Cobra and Now threesome. It really did happen, but it was only some titty sucking. And that is the bulk of our disgusting Cobes video for the night. I hope that's enough for you folks, because that's pretty much all I really want to cover. I don't really want to cover a lot more of that. It's too disgusting for me. So now we have Foodie Retro React. To continue the theme of Foodie Beauty for the night, we have a Foodie Beauty Retro React. This one is from a channel. Let me give the link to this one. This is a channel called the Fat Cow Chronicles. Let me post the link in here. You weren't a fan, Susie Q? I know people are torn on Josh and Now. Like half the people love it, half the people hate it. So I'm always like, I like to show it. And I know some people here enjoy it, but some people here hate it. So it's like, it's half and half. I'm sorry, Elise. That's all. I'm done with Josh for the night. That's it. That's all I've covered. All right. Ooh, I might watch that one as well. I have not seen that one. This is the only one I've actually watched so far. I watched like a couple others. Okay, but yeah, let's put this on here. This here is the story of how Foodie Beauty met Salah. So this is my retro react, Fat Cow Chronicles. Be sure to check her out. Got a great channel, great vids, and here is one of them. Welcome to Skinny Queen. Hope you're having a great night. And let me introduce for anybody not aware, this is Sarah Jade of Skinny Queen Reacts, a friend of the channel, friend of mine, and she's doing really well right now on her weight loss program. She's down a lot. I don't want to spoil the surprise for anybody who's not aware, but she's doing really great.
You know, with getting Salah, my views and morals have changed. Yeah. Actually, it's not that they've changed. It's just that they've come to fruition because, like, I never felt good with the way I was living with, you know, letting men disrespect me and not respecting myself, not having higher value for myself and what I want in a partner. And I learned all that when I met Salah, when I converted to, when I reverted to Islam. So, that being said,
very fair.
Right before I met Salah, I was pretty lonely.
Okay, so Foodie here is talking about like after she broke up with Natter. I know I'm sure everybody here is familiar with that, at least more than I am. So yeah, that was back. Foodie was saying here how she was at a low place when she met Salah. So let's hear about the story.
I had just like gotten out of a relationship with a narcissistic abuser. And so I was feeling pretty low and looking to like just fill that void, and was just like.
And this is the Fat Cow's commentary here. I think this is good commentary. I'm not going to read it out loud, but I definitely agree with what she's saying here.
Getting around and like being really not really caring about myself, you know, like just yeah, struggling with a lot of things. And at one point, I became really sick of the dating scene and men altogether.
Skinny. That's awesome.
The idea of having a partner, anyone in my life. And I was using Tinder to meet people at the time. And I was on there all day.
So Foodie was using Tinder at the time. That was her thing at the time. She was using a lot of Tinder. And apparently, she met Salah through Tinder. I think that's what she's insinuating.
Meaningless encounters, not respecting myself whatsoever. That's how I felt inside. Maybe I didn't always portray that on camera.
This was so much way to go, Mouse.
I felt that way
agree.
a lot of time.
Nowhere near as blood. Look at the face.
I'm not going to check my inbox anymore. I had seen in my inbox a message from.
Look at her face. Look at her face. You like the side of her face, like her nose sticks out past her face. Like her eyes and her nose are not flat, like against each other. Like there's space in between. Like her eye socket goes in. Now her hijab bulges out of her forehead. Foodie's face has gotten so crazy swollen. She doesn't even look like the same person. She looks like she ate the old Foodie.
And I just kind of like ignored all messages. I was like, I remember looking at him and thinking, wow, like he's handsome, like just what I'm looking for. Like I was attracted to like, for a while I've been attracted to like Arab men, and he was like exactly what I pictured, like dark
She is
hair,
shameless.
Just handsome. Like he's just very handsome.
True, Nirvana.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
Two
but I didn't know how tall he was
people.
at first. Okay, so then, and he, you know, he would leave me a sweet message. And
I heard that theory too. I heard that theory too, Jamie. I'm going to read that aloud for anybody who's just listening. Actually, she met Salah through his married uncle she was having sex with. I heard that as well. I guess Foodie likes the version, her version that she has now, where they met through Tinder. I guess because she was searching for men in the Middle East when she was on Tinder. Like, who even searches for people across the globe? Like, that just doesn't make sense. But I'm not gonna talk about that specifically. Agreed, Catsy. I think just at one point, maybe she was actually going out and meeting people regularly. Maybe she was being more active at that time.
I would just kind of like, I ignored everybody until I left. I said, you know what, I'm fed up. I'm not answering my inbox. I'll leave my WhatsApp number. So I said, like, I basically prayed to God, because at the time I was raised Christian Catholic. So
they did still fit.
You know, I went through phases where I was agnostic, even
totally
atheist
different.
And Christian. So I was praying to God. And, you know,
that is a good question,
Muslim yet,
Catsy.
but I started believing in God.
Let me ask you folks in the chat, is that something that you've commonly heard about? Like, do people regularly, I guess not regularly, but is that even an uncommon thing? Is that something that people do, where they go on Tinder and they set the area for someplace really far away? Like, I can understand if you're planning to move, or if maybe you visit someplace, maybe if you visit New York City and you want to use the Tinder in New York City to meet somebody because you know you're going to be there next year or something. All right, whatever. But to try to meet people across the globe, the other side of the planet, and you don't even, that makes no sense.
In Cuba, when I went to Cuba, because God made signs aware to me that he existed. And he was there to help me. And he got me through the heck I went through there.
She's nasty.
You know? I prayed the night before Salah messaged me.
You don't want Foodie's action. You don't want that Foodie action. You don't want that homeless guy on a rock outside the McDonald's or outside the nightclub, wherever that was. You don't want you could respect yourself a little more than that, at least.
I was like, listen, please God, send me a man who will take care of me and who is good for me. So, you know, like, admittedly, and this is not very healthy, but I wanted to get my mind taken off of the, you know.
I agree, Catsy. Like, to me, like, if I would much rather not meet somebody across the globe if possible, because when you think about it, that creates so many problems. Now you've got somebody across the globe, and you want to be faithful to somebody if you love them, but if you're never going to meet them, like, you're keeping yourself from meeting anybody else. So I don't know if I like that idea of meeting somebody across the globe, because if you can't be with that person, and I don't even mean sexually, I just mean if you can't spend time with them, you're stopping yourself from getting into another relationship. And I think it's I'm not sure if I like the idea.
Horrible ones I was with before that. I said my prayers.
Or a dare, maybe.
I said, I'm going to do a test here. I'm going to put my direct WhatsApp number
Sorry, Elisa,
in my
I'm
profile
old-fashioned.
on the dating app. And I'm going to go to sleep. And in the morning, the first person to message me is my soulmate. I woke up, probably not morning. I woke up, rolled over.
In that case, they should have called it itchy instead, because if you mess with Foodie, you're going to have an itch.
And check my phone.
Right?
And I had a WhatsApp message and it was from Salah. One of the first, the first communication was, I was like, where are you from? And he was like,
that is a bit of a turnoff for most Americans, I think.
I'm Syrian, living in Kuwait. And I was like, Kuwait, wow.
Welcome in, Burgundy Rose Bunny. Hopefully you're having a good evening there. That's an adorable little bunny in your avatar there.
I would love to visit there someday. And his confidence, was such an attractive thing for me.
His confidence was
He
attractive.
was
Because we
like-
all know, because Salah projects so much confidence, right, ladies? Like when you one thing about Salah, he takes over any room that he's in. He's in that your eyes are just drawn to him because he is just a natural entertainer. He's just a natural leader. Everybody just immediately jumps to the beat of Salah's drum. And I'm not, look, I don't hate Salah. I know some people really dislike him because he seems like a bit of a creep in some ways. But I think that he and Foodie are kind of on a similar level when it comes to that. But yeah, just to get back to the point, he does not strike me as a super confident guy. I have to get my seltzer. I'll be right back.
Don't worry, you will. With a winky face and like, so I was like, oh, Do you know any Arabic? Maybe you've heard of the term Habibi. It was so cute. And then after a while of talking, marriage came up. Because in his culture, dating is not, even on a dating app, you're looking for marriage. That's what everyone. In Muslim, also custom, dating is forbidden, so the goal is marriage. And I still listen to this voice note sometimes, it makes me laugh. And so I sent him a voice note back and said, oh, marriage.
There's like a whole culture of these romance scammers online nowadays, and and I'm not going to say that there's no real people online, but there's so many darn scammers, and the scammers, like, I don't really get the appeal of them because it's like, what do people even get out of this? Like they say they get a social connection or a romantic connection, but whenever I watch those catfish shows and I look at the actual scammer, they're not really like telling them anything like any meaningful kind of loving. It's just like, hey, how was your day? Did you eat? I need some money to get out of jail, or I need some money to pay my phone bill. That's the one. I need money for my phone bill. I want to keep talking to you because I love you so much, baby, but I can't afford my phone bill. Can you send me some money? That's the one they always use.
Wow. And at that moment, I really believed it. I'm like, I'm never getting married. Never. And along the way,
Look at the Christy.
obviously I fell in love with him and felt safe with him and felt like this is what a union should be. I was so adverse to marriage before, and to be the role of a wife, which
I never actually saw that doll. Now I want to go see that. But it makes sense. Like he is like Foodie doesn't aim too high with her men. She knows that she knows what league she's in. So she's not expecting some Adonis. So by her standards, that's to her, he is an attractive guy because that's, she's only got so much competition. Yes, and Fat Cal here adding the commentary that she was engaged to Pete's at one point and bought herself an engagement ring when she was with Natter. And that was a hilarious video for anybody who hasn't seen that one. That one is absolutely hilarious. The one where she talks about the engagement ring, the quote unquote engagement ring. And Natter's like, we're not engaged. What do you mean? Oh yeah, I just bought her a ring. Eat it. Oh yeah, the ring. Like she bought the ring, but he pretended he bought it, but but he wouldn't pretend there was an engagement.
it's not a bad thing. And I'll be doing videos about that. Because I was adverse to that. And weird because I never had a man in my life who fit the role of a husband and protector in the way that I, and provider in the way that I needed.
The essence then that must be hard. It must be hard to watch her shows because she eats so much. I think I feel for you. That must be tough because she is always eating. Well, fair enough, Saban Nation. I play fast and loose with the facts sometimes when it comes to like the details. Actually, not with the facts, with the details, I should say. I play fast and loose with the details. But if I really had to, if you were telling me, hey, this is an important, scientifically accurate question. Who do you think looks better, Salah or Chantal? I'd say, well, I mean, Chantal is so huge. I have to give it to Salah.
So that's how we met. Like, I firmly believe that Salah
Welcome in, House Animal.
is my good
Hopefully you're
karma
having a great night.
from having went through what I went through.
Yes, please.
And I know a lot of people hate me
Everyone, please be sure to
for whatever.
smash that like button if you haven't had the chance already, and please click the subscribe button if you'd like as well to see more of this content as well. It helps out the channel greatly.
Reason that's not my problem. That's yours. But you know,
Welcome in, Blondie.
I'm thinking I'm a
YouTube
a
does
bad
suck.
person.
I agree with that.
You know, morally inept because I was in an abusive, narcissistic relationship where I became addicted to harder drugs, and I just.
When she talks this crap about I was in an abusive relationship, I was addicted to harder drugs. Foodie is so desperate to be an addict to get the sympathy because she thinks that, oh, if I claim I was an addict, I'll get sympathy. I think that's what she believes because I don't understand why else she would be so insistent on claiming to be an addict. If you're an addict, Foodie, how are you dealing with your drug addiction right now? I was addicted. If you don't stop being an addict like overnight. It doesn't happen that easy. If you were a real addict, you wouldn't have been able to stop. But I will say Foodie is very much an addict, but not a drug addict. She's addicted to food. The one addiction she really does have, she's in denial about. Instead, she wants to claim a drug addiction, either because she thinks it's fashionable, or she thinks she can get sympathy, or she thinks it's a good excuse for why she was with Nader. I don't know what the exact reason is, but she is not, in my opinion, like a true drug addict because she doesn't seem to, like, she doesn't really use drugs anymore. She hasn't used them in a long time. Like, yes, she smoked some weed, but she's not continuing to use any of that hard stuff.
Really just didn't respect myself or my life at all. You know, I didn't care about anything. I was, I was in a very dark place. And, I had an incident.
Oh, and by the way, this is Fat Cow's commentary. Fat Cow is the name of the channel that we're using. I posted a link earlier if you'd like to check them out. Fat Cow posts some really good videos. And just to inform anybody who's not aware, this is a retro react to an old to the story about how Foodie met Salah. So okay, let's keep going here. So she's talking. Also, Fat Cow's giving her commentary on here about how
where I had way too much alcohol and I just let everything that I was holding in, everything just come out. And a lot of people look at me differently because of that, but I still think that I have good karma. I had good karma banked up with,
that is sad to see. A lot of lonely men, women and men also, a lot of lonely people are taken advantage of. And I don't like to see that. I will say that sometimes the people, they buy too much into a fantasy because a lot of times they have people in their lives, but they overlook the people in their lives for one reason or another. Either the person in their life is maybe not attractive enough for them, or maybe doesn't have enough money for them, or has something but for whatever reason, they enjoy the scammer because the scammer is perfect. The scammer presents themselves as being beautiful and loving and has plenty of financial resources and plenty of time to talk to them. And the scammer is so much more perfect than any real boyfriend or girlfriend because the scammer is not real. When you're not real, you're always going to be perfect, right? Because you don't have to. It's like when you imagine somebody, you can imagine them to be anything. And if you want to, you can imagine them to be perfect.
With getting Salah, because
I think that's how it happens.
I really did.
She is not.
Do a lot for the people that I was with, and I was taken advantage of. I was used, and
Agreed.
I was just put through the ringer, hurt tremendously over and over. And I think that you have to go through a lot of bad ones, like they say, to get to a good one. Sometimes, unfortunately. Salah comes from a culture where you.
Oh my God!
It's such a shame. Like
I need to find that video and do that. I cover that on my show one night. I need to cover more Foodie retro content in general because I think it's interesting and I haven't covered a lot of it. And that is one that I absolutely need to cover. I need to look that up.
Huge shame if a man doesn't have his own life. I see people joke about that a lot, like, oh, well, he's just with her for money. Because I don't. That's such a narrow-minded view. Just because I'm over.
And we said Foodie didn't like vegetables. We got to revise that. People think he's only with you with your money because of how quickly he got you to give up your entire life and went over there, not because of your weight and size. it's not specifically for Foodie's weight and size. It's for Foodie's everything. Because it's not, because you could be big and still be desirable, but you got to have other things going for you. You can't, I mean, and you got to have, you can't have everything going against you like Foodie does.
Whatever.
Somebody the other day said something like, can you name one good quality about Foodie? And I like to think of myself as a very generous and kind person in that way. I like to think of myself as somebody who could find the goodness in anybody. And I'm sure if I thought long enough, I'd eventually come up with something. But I could not think of anything good to say about her. I couldn't think of any good qualities about her. I was thinking, like, what's one good quality that Foodie has? And like I said, if I really thought about it long enough, I'd probably come up with something. But I couldn't think of anything. Not off the top of my head, that's for certain.
I feel like that view is...
Welcome in,
and we see that a lot on social media. If a bigger woman is with someone from a different culture, race, it's for a green card. We don't have green cards in Canada. We're not living in Canada or going to be. And he had a whole life. He was supporting himself for a few years.
It is sad.
He left his family home. He was supporting
Fiona's
himself.
Mom. That is sad. Like her whole like, again, I joke about Foodie because it's reality TV and because it's pathetic how she keeps dragging her Beezers and everybody through the same cycle of lies. But at the core of all this pathetic lying is a very sad existence in a lot of ways. And I don't think that the sadness is funny. I think Foodie's ways that she reacts to it, the way she copes with it, I think that can be funny. But the actual sadness that's at the core, that's real. And I don't, that's not pleasant.
So, he lived before me. He's living with me. And it's a shame in that culture to not be
that's fair.
To take care of your wife and everything either. And I'm not used to that. I'm not used to being with someone like that. But surprisingly, I don't know how I lived a life like that before this, so it's like really weird when I see old videos of myself. I don't even feel like I recognize that person.
Okay, and it's a little bit early. We still have more time. I think I'm gonna do one more video by Fat Cow. Let me. There was that other one you folks said that was good. Let me pull that other one up because we did end a little bit early tonight, so I want to cover some more stuff. So let me pull this up. A Portrait in Misery. That's the one that Rose Thorn recommended. So let's try this. Okay, let me get this shared. 1 second here. Let me pull up the stinger, or the bumper. Excuse me. Hope everybody's having a good time tonight. I'm having a lot of fun with you folks. Getting back to doing some Foodie coverage. I know I'd gotten away from her a little bit. I like to mix it up. I like to cover Foodie for a little bit. I like to cover other people too. I know that some people usually want me to do just one or the other, but by covering all this stuff, it gives everybody a little something at least. They do look surprisingly similar.
Yes, I'm from Canada. Born and raised there. And I know a lot of people from there. My audience is from Canada, US, Europe, the Western world. And a lot of you can't fathom.
Yeah, very socially awkward.
I could be happy here as a Muslim.
Firstly, we don't question how you can be happy in Kuwait as a Muslim. We question how you can be happy in Kuwait, allegedly married to a man you have zero chemistry with, while living the kind of life you reject.
Oh, let me post a link to this video as well. I always like to link the videos I use here. This is from the channel called Fat Cow Chronicles. This is the second video tonight I'm going to be using previously. The channel.
We also question whether or not you are happy, despite your protests that you are, when you look so utterly dejected. We don't factor, as a Muslim, into it. Stop making this about religion.
Agreed.
It's about your location, yes.
That is such a great point. Anybody, I shouldn't say anybody, but I'll say generally people who are addicted to drugs are not proud of it. They don't like to bring it up. They'd rather just not even, if it's in their past, they don't want to talk about it. They just rather want to move past it, generally. And if they do bring it up, it's only to bring up how they've moved beyond it and how they're glad to move beyond it. It's not oh, God, feel bad for me because I have this addiction and you should pity me. That's very that's very unappealing to hear. I don't know anybody who would like to hear that.
Not your location's religious beliefs. It's mostly about your relationship, or lack thereof.
And I explained some things that I missed, certain
horrible,
freedoms, miss my family. But overall, for me, home is where my heart is.
Welcome there
My
for
heart
shoving
is
it.
with Salah.
Oh, better late than never.
This is not the face of a happy individual.
Yes, Skinny.
I love him a lot.
I got
This is not the face of
All right, I got to rush through few of these comments to catch up with everybody. So if I miss anyone, my apologies. But thank you everybody who's here. Welcome into all of the lurkers and all of you awesome chatters. You're very much appreciated. But I got to skip forward just a little bit.
someone deeply in love.
I love him a lot.
Your body language isn't saying, I love him a lot.
He loves me.
This is not the face of someone who feels loved.
He loves me.
This is the body language of someone who is utterly dejected.
I agree with that. I think Foodie is a sad person in a lot of ways, and I actually have some sympathy for that sadness. I don't like to see the sadness. I think if Foodie really was trying to work on herself and address her real issues, I would probably lay off a little bit. That's just me, but I don't see her doing anything like that. So here we are.
And
Agreed.
I'm being sincere that I'm not miserable here, you know.
This is not the body language of someone who is being sincere.
You know what? I could start looking into her a little bit more. I know Hannibal covers her. He does a great job. Shout out House of Hannibal. He does a great job on Denise. I could look into her a little bit, you know, give people a little intro.
Or who is happy.
That's awesome.
I'm the type of person that if I was, I would just go back, like, you know, easily.
You'd like to think that you're the type of person who
Foodie
would
is not
walk
the
away when things weren't right. But history has shown that you are willing to stay in a situation that is not only bad for your mental health, but also is actually dangerous for you physically. History has shown us that you are willing to put up with an awful lot of very, very bad treatment and neglect without walking away. I'd go as far to say that the only reason you are no longer in your previous situation, where you had ample opportunity to walk away,
Yes, I
is
agree
because
with
the
that.
other party involved walked away instead.
Well, not easily.
Instant damage control. Did we make a little mistake there, Foodie?
Foodie likes to act like she has control over these relationships, and in one way she does, because she has the money, quote, what money there is. So she controls the men in her life. She very much likes to control these guys. But if you look at Natter, he controlled her very easily by just giving her some sex, giving her some attention, giving her some drugs as well. But with those tools, he was able to control her very easily, despite her thinking that she could control him.
Little Freudian slip, perhaps?
But easy enough. I know he's always said, if you ever really need to go back and see your family, I'll book you a flight. But I have that
Do you have a
knowledge
link?
and
I'll look
security
him up.
that I can go. It's not that I'm stuck here, you know?
If not stuck here, why so
Okay,
visibly
I'll
upset?
look into SJam. If somebody has a link for SJam, like his channel, or like somebody who archives his content, please post it in the chat, because I'm always down to look into SJam.
When I weigh everything,
This is the body language of somebody who wants to cry. I've removed the audio and slowed down the next clip because I want you to focus on Fuji's posture,
Okay.
her facial expressions, the deep sigh and shrugging of shoulders, the downturned mouth, and the glassy.
This is a very like in-depth body language kind of video here Fat Cow is doing. Very interesting. So let's look at it. Let's look at her face here. Do we see what Fat Cow is seeing?
Tearful eyes, and ask yourself the question, does this look like a happy individual?
All right, let's look. She does look forlorn.
and that's why I'm tired. I stayed awake thinking about these things. When I weigh everything,
This is the expression of someone crying for help.
whenever I consider everything,
Interesting.
I am happier overall.
Is this the facial expression of someone who is happy overall?
Here than I was in Canada. And it's so strange for me to hear people say, you were happier in Canada.
Why is it strange? You weren't happy in Canada
Foodie's
also,
eating too.
and we never assumed you were.
Well,
But you are really
I'm giving it the
unhappy
benefit of the
here.
doubt. Giving it the benefit of the doubt, Elisa.
Defeated. You look like somebody who has lost everything. The fact of the matter is, you are somebody who took a gamble to change their life and has realised that you've made, possibly, the biggest mistake of your life, and that you have, in fact, lost everything.
Which makes
What
me
could it
realize,
be?
like, people
We're having
really
a good
don't know how I was feeling.
We knew how you were feeling. We knew you were crying for help. We also knew that you were completely convinced that you were fooling all of us into believing that you were living the life and that you were doing exactly what you wanted to
agreed.
do. We weren't fooled. Not for a minute. The only person you succeeded in fooling was yourself.
Internally. You know, maybe I didn't express that. I'm not feeling the greatest because I'm not, you know, doing much to improve my situation health-wise. And that you can't escape from. But people don't seem to remember how people think I'm more unhealthy and eat more here. That's not true.
We think you're about the same as you always were. You either think that we think you're unhappy because of your health,
She has a big
or you're
problem,
trying
right?
to convince yourself that we think you're unhappy because of your health.
Yes, Mouse.
When the
knows.
truth of the matter is, we think you're unhappy because of your non-existent relationship and the situation you've gotten yourself trapped in. P.S. This didn't age well.
My highest weight was in Canada.
I agree with Fat Cow here that Foodie's health bothers her very little, I think. I think Foodie is not really bothered by her health. She's somebody who's really more, she seems unfulfilled socially, emotionally. That's how she's unfulfilled emotionally. And she wants to have some kind of idealized relationship with a husband who dotes on her. And what she has is really seems to be bothering her. And her health, she's hiding it. She's burying her feelings with food, and the food is destroying her health. So it's kind of a bad cycle.
402 pounds.
This didn't age well.
My highest weight was in Canada. I was 402
Her
pounds.
highest weight was in Canada.
My blood sugar
Yeah,
was 17. It's now like 6.
Hello, Foodie. This is Fat Cow, a commentary channel from the future. Your blood sugar has registered up to 25 since then, and only goes down to around 17 when you've taken insulin and other medications for diabetes. Your health now, October 2024, is the worst it has ever been. And yeah, you're still in Kuwait.
The last time I weighed myself here, I wasn't 400.
What can it be easy?
You know, maybe 370. It's been averaging out.
Foodie has been so heavy for
I was
so
in the
long
ER
now.
all the time. Blood clots. No, I wasn't healthier. So we didn't break up. We're not getting a divorce. We're not getting a divorce.
Not getting a
That quick
divorce. Yeah,
side
right.
glance. Is there somebody else there?
I think this is interesting. You know, I think body language is one of those things where there's not really 100% consensus, but I do think it's interesting to look at, to hear other people's opinions on it.
I was just thinking of going back to Canada temporarily for a visit to get rid of that homesickness feeling, but I really think I would be more homesick for here if I went there.
It's so crazy to me when she talks about how Kuwait is like her home now. I mean, I do agree that Foodie did not feel happy in Canada, but I think that Kuwait, she seems to have just all the same issues in Kuwait that she had in Canada. She's gained more weight in Kuwait. So if we just go by that as an example of, you know, how she feels, she's burying her feelings with food. She's buried herself under a mountain of cheese, you know, in Kuwait. It's not healthy.
The more I'm here, the more this starts to feel like home.
This is a facial expression of somebody who hates the idea.
And again,
I think she's 500
when I was in
pounds, at
Thailand,
least.
I felt at home because I was with Salah, you know. So,
This facial expression tells a very different story.
like completely moving to another country, you know, it's kind of a big culture shock sometimes.
Yes,
Again,
Javed.
I've removed the audio and slowed down the next
It's
clip
wild how she
because I
went
wanted
from
to
being so sick to so everything's fine all of a sudden. I mentioned this earlier, but for anybody who wasn't here at the beginning, I personally feel that the two most likely reasons for Foodie's illness
Focus
were,
on Foodie's posture, her facial expression.
I feel like the two most likely reasons for Foodie's illness were either her missing Salah and being convinced that he's going to cheat on her, or that she was downing gummies by the handful, smoking probably as well, and that just had her eating a ton and her blood sugar was out of whack and she was smoked out, so she was super tired. I do like the sad music here. I think that makes it, you know, really brings it home.
I should be able to function normally and happily without being high.
Foodie doesn't understand
I agree,
why
she
everything
should.
didn't get better just because he
I agree. She should be able to function without being high on drugs and alcohol. I mean, we all would like to be that way, but unfortunately, some people are just, for whatever reason, either through having a rough history, a bad adjustment, either from psychological issues or emotional issues. There's all kinds of things that can cause people's brains to be miswired, and then they choose to use substances like drugs or alcohol or food as well.
You haven't changed, Foodie. You just removed your ability to do these things.
That's a great point
Like,
there. That
you
she,
know.
she left Kuwait, she left Canada for Kuwait, and she left behind the access to drugs. She left behind the access to weed. But look, when she goes to Thailand, she immediately gets all smoked out again. The very first day. When she was in Thailand, she didn't have any cheese. Remember? She couldn't really get, well, she had some, but she couldn't really get much cheese. The minute she gets back to Kuwait, it's a ton of cheese.
Is very big for me. And I think a part of me doesn't want to go back to Canada. For that reason, I don't want to fall back into addictions.
It is a little bit like a lifetime.
That I don't have access to here.
Welcome in, Dainty Gorilla.
3, 4.
Hello, Foodie. It's me again,
Hope you're
Fat
having a good
Cow
night.
from the future.
Yeah, she needs
You are
therapy.
still ordering
She really
fast
does.
food 3 times a day. Nothing has changed. Not a damn thing.
4 times a day. I don't know, like just whenever I want, you know, just being very frivolous and not good with money. I just don't trust myself right now. My heart is with Salah. We're very much in love and married, despite what people think. I mean, I don't know where people
That's
believe all these weird theories that
very
people
likely
come up with
reason, I
about us when there's zero proof, you know?
Gosh, I wonder why people find it so
I
hard
agree.
to believe that you and Salah are legally married.
Welcome in, Death Detective.
Maybe
Hope you're having a good
it's
night
because
there.
of this. To get married
Agreed.
legally, you need
Yeah, Foodie is always trying to buy herself a man, and she wants to buy a man, but like I said the other day, and this isn't, you know, she wants to be a sugar mama, but she needs to have some more sugar. She doesn't have enough sugar. She can't really provide for a man like she wants to, and that's why she's got Salah, who doesn't really take care of her that well.
you can get a civil ID.
Oh, this is here about the need for documentation to become to get married in Kuwait. Foodie
All
does not
based
have
on
any
the
of that.
idea that the necessary paperwork arrived the morning of the alleged marriage. The application by the sponsor for the no objective certificate had to have happened somewhere between the 8th of July and the 18th of October 2022, which is then sent to the Embassy of Kuwait in Canada, which is in Ottawa. Application for the certificate of no impediment had to be applied for on the 12th of September 2022 from the local register office. Foodie announced her relationship with Salah on the internet on the 3rd of October 2022. The president.
I don't know if that's something. Can you get disability for that? Like, can you get medication for that or anything? And here's a little chronology of Foodie's relationship with Salah. This is actually. Wait a minute. Is this a hypothetical presentation? I'm not really sure.
Presentation of the CNI to the Kuwaiti court prior to marriage had to have
Okay, so this is a hypothetical. If she did it, this is how she would have needed to do it.
happened on the 11th of October 2022. The application for extensive medical certificate had to have happened on the 28th of October 2022. The application for a police certificate to show that you had no criminal record had to be applied for on the 1st of November 2022 in order to arrive on time. Foodie arrived in Kuwait on the 2nd of November
Good question,
2022
Danny.
and would have to apply for a civil ID on the same day, the 2nd of November 2022.
I mean, if your question is why Kuwait, I mean, Salah, that's the only thing I could think of. But why Salah and Kuwait specifically? I mean, I guess he was the only one who reached out to her. Was she having sex with his uncle? I mean, who knows the exact real reason, but it's pretty bad. She ate all the sugar. That's why she has nothing left for Salah. She ate all.
Allegedly,
She actually
they get
does.
married in
You know something? I mean, it's a funny joke, but being literal for a second, she really does eat all the sugar. She eats up all the money. She has nothing for Salah because she ate it all.
court on the 8th of November 2022, however, would not have received a civil ID until the 13th of November 2022. If the necessary paperwork arrived on the alleged morning of the marriage, the
Actually, I
earliest
think
date
you're right,
that
though. I think
Foodie
you're
could
right.
have actually have gotten married because she had to wait for the civil ID.
I mean, if somebody's, I mean, I guess you know what it is. There's a difference between being fat and being so fat that you can't do anything. If you're so fat that you can't even move, like, and do anything, that's like a different issue. So I guess I could see that. But you should have to try to get some help for that, though, right? Like, you should at least have to try to get some, try to work on that if you can.
process would have been the 13th of November 2022.
We love each other, and I hopefully can spend the rest of my life with him. We love each other, and I hopefully can spend the rest of my life with him. We love each other.
We love each other.
and
All right, now I think some of Fat Cow's body language has maybe been a little bit nitpicky, but I do agree with this one here. I think that this absolutely looks deceptive to me.
I hopefully can spend the rest of my life with him, and I just think the Middle East is the best right now for me, like, to recover from addiction, to recover financially.
Recover from addiction. I just really don't like the way that she's always talking about her, quote, recovering from addiction, while she continues to be a food addict, a very serious food addict. So here's kind of Fat Cow's conclusion on this here. Feel free to read this if you'd like. I think this is pretty much going to wind us down for the night. So I guess we'll let this let her read us off here for the end. But I'm going to get started winding us down and see you folks out.
Foodie is obviously extremely unhappy. In fact, the signs were there that she was regretting her decision to move to Kuwait as early as April of 2023, only 5 months after arriving, if not sooner. She felt that this was going to be a fresh new start, a chance of a do-over, a rebranding of sorts. But the old adage that everywhere you go, there you are, has never been more clearer than this. It doesn't matter where you are, Foodie. You bring yourself and your issues with you.
Exactly. That's a great point. I'm going to give one more link to Fat Cow because I know some of you folks really liked the first video. Some of you folks liked the second. Some of you folks like both. So I want to say thank you to everybody for coming in tonight. You've been a fantastic audience. I don't see Hannibal on just yet. So I'm going to, but I do need to head out a little bit early tonight. I need to get some rest a little bit early today. So thank you everybody for coming in. You've been an awesome chat. As always, I'm so much, just love having you in here. I always have a great time when we do these chats. You're always have a lot of fun. And yeah, I think this is just a good wholesome show. So thank you everybody for coming in. Oh, I'm sorry, Fallen Angel. Yeah, I gotta end it. I gotta end it a little bit early tonight. But thank you everyone for coming in. Good question. Good question. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, everybody. Thank you, everybody. You've been an awesome chat. Good night, everybody. I might be around a little bit later before I go to sleep, but we'll see. All right, everybody. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you very much for coming in. Good night, everybody.